Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Majin Starcraft, and today we're gonna be on Lost Temple again, and gonna bring you a Zerg versus Protoss between the Protoss Kiwikaki, who, well, hasn't been doing so well as of late, and because of his double loss to OGSJ. OGSJ just plowed through Kiwikaki's ultra defensive and economical build as a Zerg, and this time we will have mouzMorroW being the one who attempts to break down Kiwikaki's defenses. Now, this spawning point clearly favors the Zerg because the Zerg will be able to scout really early with the Overlord. However, this is probably the best spawning position for a good long macro game. I hope. I haven't looked at a timer, I've just clicked play and let's watch this baby. Now, if I'm sounding a little off, it's because, well, it's really late while I'm recording this. I'm trying to record this a little bit beforehand. I'm recording it actually a day before you guys get to see it, simply because I have a couple of exams and I need to, focus on those. So mouzMorroW securing a gas, no spawning pool, and no hatchery as of yet, so we'll see what mouzMorroW goes for. Meanwhile, there is a gateway for Kiwikaki. So nothing really out of the norm. There is an assimilator being warped in, and this little probe, since it hasn't seen any type of spawning pool or anything else, was expecting an early hatchery. However, instead of actually chasing down a probe, mouzMorroW decides to go pool. So we have the pool on the way. There's another drone soon. There will be a queen here, so we'll see how things go. Production tab says that, oh, there we go. We have, so it's a gateway core for Kiwikaki, and that's pretty much it. No early pressure, sadly. Of course, this doesn't allow for any kind of early pressure with ground units, as you can see, the distance is really long. It does, however, allow for very nice harassment via air. Very possible. However, I doubt that we'll see any kind of Stargate or Stargate anytime soon. However, Zergs do have that Spire, and Mutaling is viable. Mutaling with lings on the ground to keep the ground safe, and mutas to actually jump from here and there, are able to do a lot of damage and also come back for any kind of defensive play. So everything has been scouted for mouzMorroW. He knows that it's a core, a cybernetics core, and a gateway. He probably knows that warp gate tech is on the way, and probably suspects that this is a stalker being warped in, so he is actually going for an expansion now. Also, metabolic boost is almost ready, so lings will be faster, and the queen is using infused larva, as you can see the eggs right here, to pump out a lot more larva and to increase the Zerg production. Is very nice indeed. So we do have the stalker who chased away this overlord, and I believe these zerglings. Yes, this poor zergling actually managing to get away with how much HP? 9 HP, probably less. And there we go, we have the little wings have evolved on the zergling, so now they can actually jump around pretty faster. And Zelnaga Watchtower under the control of the Zerg. They now actually control the tech. This is very antonymy, if you will, complete opposites. A very strange tech building right here, with a very biological monster alien right here. Very small, isn't he? But this tower is under the control of this little thing. Who'da thunk it? Who'da actually thunk it? So meanwhile, as you can see, mouzMorroW opting to go for the economic build as well. Not many fighting units. Let's check out the units tab. As you can see, only 4 Zerglings. However, mouzMorroW has been keeping up with the drone count, with the probe count. So that is very nice indeed for him. An expansion for Kiwikaki and a couple of sentries, as 2 zealots and a stalker will be able to fight off any kind of zerglings that try to come in here, especially considering that there's only 4 of them on the map at the moment, and 2 of them are just chilling at the towers. So it's gonna be a long game. It's gonna be a macro game. mouzMorroW is actually going to have the possibility to prove his worth and prove that his economic build can work, and we'll see if it actually does. Meanwhile, we have an Evo chamber and a roach war on the way, and hive layer tech on the way. So as I said, that mutas could be a factor anytime soon. There are no anti-air defenses around here. There we go, a lot of transitioning probes. There are only 5 stalkers on the map, so mutas again could become very effective to come in here. And for example, let's check out. Yes, if this pylon gets sniped, 2 gateways would automatically be unpowered. So here we go. We're gonna have the first attacking move of our little game, and I have no idea how far we're into this game. I suppose I should really activate my clock here in the bottom. Can't be bothered right now. Kiwikaki is moving in, gonna try and do a little bit of damage to the creep tumor, but that didn't happen. No creep tumor is dead yet, so now the creep tumors are alive and well. This poor creep tumor standing right here. I can spread, I can reproduce, but no way inside the base of mouzMorroW. There are a lot of lings, a lot of roaches, and a couple of spine crawlers, and since there's no blink and no vision on the high ground, nothing really to talk about there. Meanwhile, the economy, as you can see, is, well, strangely enough, favoring Kiwikaki in both minerals and gas, because of the slight harvester count. However, now finally the gas is up for mouzMorroW, so we're gonna have the same type of income for both these players, but still Kiwikaki is pushing forward, and there is that forge that has gotten him into so much trouble these last few games. There's a Stargate, nice, and a robotics facility, and a photon cannon. Photon cannon for defense, and the Stargate gets out a void ray. That is strange. An observer is on the way. Another gateway is on the way. This gateway is probably going to be powered by both, I believe. And another pylon finally being laid down to make sure that these gateways do not suffer a devastating blow. Creep tumor spread for mouzMorroW is actually really good, spreading out the creep almost across the map, and he's also getting a hatchery at the high yield. No spire as of yet, or is this a spire? There's a spire. God, am I good? And the hydra den is already here, so hydralisk might come into play. No hydras on the way to speak of. Only more roaches. Oh my god, a fleet beacon. That could only, well, and a void ray. Now the void ray is up. No more void rays will probably be produced, well, because of obvious reasons. Because right now mouzMorroW will probably try to protect that against that, and the spire being done, I suppose that will come into play. But here we have 2 more gateways, and where is that? And yes, I was right. There is the mothership. So fleet beacon can only mean carriers or mothership, and in this situation it's a mothership, so it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna come down to the letter. We're probably gonna have the mothership run inside the main and warp in the entire army right here and do a lot of damage to the main economy. However, luckily, very luckily for mouzMorroW, as you can see, his tech buildings are fairly spread, fairly far apart from one another, so he can't run in here and just nuke them all. Let's say if they were all placed right here. Same kind of strategy for Kiwikaki. He has his forge here and a Stargate and a robotics facility, but the core is here, and so far, and the Templar Archives is up here, and the fleet beacon is up here, so everything is completely spread. We'll see what this decides. Chrono boost right now being completely used on the mothership, so mothership is the priority. More gateways, so more warp gates. It's, oh my god, the overseer. Did the overseer actually spot that? I need to see if mouzMorroW did spot that. I have no idea. If mouzMorroW actually managed to spot that. If he did, that would be huge, because if he spot that gigantic pillar of light, that means that mouzMorroW knows that the mothership is on the way, and here it is, mothership spawning, cloaking field engaged. So the entire Protoss base is under defensive ability, under the cloak of shadows. Meanwhile, we have 3 cannons here and 2 pylons and 3 pylons and a base, so we have a high yield going up for Kiwikaki as well. If we look at the unit size, 155, I believe, army. Yeah, that's right. 145 for mouzMorroW, while Kiwikaki is at 127. Income fairly favoring, clearly favoring mouzMorroW because of the high yield, and clearly the mothership was spotted because corruptors are on the way. How many more corruptors? Not that many. We do have 4 on the map. I don't know if 4 will be enough to deal with the mothership, but we'll see. Here is the Void Ray army, and oh, the stalkers. This is kind of bad because if this army gets surrounded, nice using the blink and force fields to separate the army. The Void Ray, however, is in a little bit of a problem, but mouzMorrow Kiwikaki actually using those force fields excellent to block off the Zerg army and to save his own. Let's see, did they take on any losses? I believe Kiwikaki did suffer some losses, and mouzMorrow is still ahead in the army size. Where's the mothership? And here comes the mothership to cloak everything. There's no overseer here, so all these units are cloaked and ready to do some damage, sniping off a couple of units right there. So the mothership will be able to do a lot. Meanwhile, a lot of warp gates and a lot of tech. This and 2 more gateways, so a lot of reinforcing units can be brought up really fast. I wouldn't very much like to see a warp prism coming in here and, you know, laying down the law and bringing a lot of reinforcing units. Meanwhile, the mothership is still on the defensive. The high yield for Kiwikaki is kicking in. Meanwhile, mouzMorrow, as you can see, has expanded all the way across the map, so the upper part of the map completely belongs to the Zerg domination. Creep tumor spread is completely hilarious and completely far apart, and we're gonna have very nice blink up here because of the vision of the Void Rays, and now mouzMorrow's team is caught out of army is caught out of position, and the main will probably be taken out. Yeah, there we go. We have the very nice. We have the layer destroyed, and will the spire go down? Will the spire go down? The spire going down, and I noted the upgrade did not finish. And very nice mass recall, I believe, was used, saving his entire army with the mass recall. Incredibly, only a couple of stalkers right there, but the economical damage was done. Infestor pit on the way. However, with the loss of the spire, any kind of air attack is well, sadly destroyed. Meanwhile, a hatchery died here. I have no idea how this hatchery died. Oh yeah, warped in pylons, which were warped back as well. But the mothership is now a little bit out of energy and needs to wait a while before that gets done as well. A hatchery being laid down at the main and at the expansion as well. So if we look at the units lost tab, mouzMorrow getting behind, still is a little bit behind, but not so much. About, let's see, that is 800 resources. 800 resources isn't that much at the end of the game, and we'll see how it goes. The overseer is inside this army, so the cloaking field will not be the big advantage here. And we'll see the mothership. The mothership loses all its shield. The mothership might actually fall. Very nice warping, using that black hole ability to suck up the Zerg army. However, the Zerg army is here to back up any kind of units it's already lost in that suckage, and we'll see how happens. And Kiwikaki decides to fall a little back, and actually more Protoss units were in there. The corruptors coming in to hunt for the mothership. Where is the mothership hidden? The corruptors are chasing the mothership, and now it's gonna come down. Will this mothership fall? Oh my god, that is a huge hit for Kiwikaki to take. He is, strangely enough, in the advantage. However, with the mothership lost, he will need to produce a new one, and we'll see if that actually decides to be done. Yes, there we go. We have another ship, another mothership being produced. Chrono Boost should be used on this to bring out the mothership a lot faster. We'll see what happens. Meanwhile, we have this huge stalker army and a couple of sentries to fight off the roaches and the hydras. I don't know if stalkers are the best units to use against roaches and hydras, but we'll see. The roaches have fallen. The stalkers are now clearly, I believe, just the numbers of the stalkers are actually winning. A couple of hydras getting a little bit of a surround here, which actually is doing the damage to the flank of the Protoss, blinking in to try and do a lot more damage. However, this entire army is lost. The units lost, still favoring Kiwikaki because hydras are, well, kind of expensive. And we have now a 2,000 mineral deficit, and we have the stalkers just pushing in, warped in more stalkers, as you can see, because of the big, gigantic actually number of gateways. So the Protoss actually being able to reinforce all his units. The mothership is almost complete. Ground weapons level 3 almost done. More hydras are being produced, but this is a massive stalker army, and it's surviving against the complete onslaught of Zerg. units that are just pouring out of the hatcheries, just pouring out of the queen eggs. But now finally I think Kiwikaki does decide to slowly back out, however using the brush to get a little bit of a shot advantage and taking out that army. So Kiwikaki is still ahead in the lead, creating an even bigger deficit of 3,000 minerals. So Kiwikaki is slowly gaining a lead. Is the mothership complete? The mothership is almost complete. Chrono boosting it out, and there we go. We have a mothership already here. So remember that blink up here and teleport back. That can be used again. The infestor pit is on the way, is here, but no infestors as of yet on the ground. We do have a hive tech coming up pretty soon, so ultras and broodlords might be in the mix. However, both ultras and broodlords mean that they will be trying to focus down this army, while the mothership will be able to use the black hole, the vortex, against the Zerg army, and that would be huge. But we'll see. Here comes the mothership. There is no overseer here, so again the entire Zerg army has nothing to shoot. And will we have another blink up the cliff and to see if that thing of the economical harass will be able to go again? But here we have another encounter, but again with no overseer here. The harassment of these cloaked units is incredible. We have one overlord spewing a little bit of creep inside the base. Not gonna happen, and we're gonna have this encounter right here. The overseer, I believe, is here. Yes, the overseer is here, and the mothership actually falls because of the focus fire. The overseer should have actually been the target. There is an infestor here, and the infestors are probably gonna don't have enough energy for nothing, I believe. Only a couple of marines, and fungal growth actually being used to catch a couple of stalkers in there. And now Kiwikaki slowly backing out because he's lost two motherships, and the production tab says no other mothership is on the way. A lot of stalkers being warped in. Robotics bay is on the way, so we might actually see Colossus. We'll see how if Kiwikaki decides to transition into something else. Very nice play. Two motherships have so far gone down. Ultra Cavern is on the way, so clearly the Ultralist, the ultimate Zerg evolution, as some people like to call it, on the ground, will be on the field pretty soon. And we have double evo chamber research link, so we have missile attacks level 3, however with no upgrades for hydras, blinking out of there. The stalkers, however, the zealots, however, need to fall back and take the hit for the team. 21 hydras on the way, another mothership, and ladies and gentlemen, let's think about this. Motherships, how much resources do they cost? 400 gas, 400 minerals. So that is a lot. Meanwhile, because of all the action, neither player actually stacking up on macro. As you can see, this base was probably taken out by warped in units, which I completely missed. And Kiwikaki also secured the spawning location and its expansion, so the map is completely split down the middle. Every single player securing all the expansion, so it's all gonna come down to this units lost tab. How much resources will these players spend on units, and how much will they lose? Since and right now it's only 1,000 minerals difference. That doesn't mean a lot, but we'll see how this ends. So we do have Colossus, and this extended thermal lance done. Extended thermal lance is done. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have extended thermal lance, another robotics facility to reinforce with Colossi. It's gonna get scouted because of the Overlord. And does the Overlord actually manage to spot that? I have no idea. mouzMorroW. Nope, I don't think the Overlord spotted that. I do not think that the Overlord actually spotted that. If he did, good for him. If he didn't, not so good for him. So we have a massive Hydra army in here and a couple of infestors. Infestors will be able to lay down fungal growth and make blink stalkers immune, worth nothing. However, Cloaked Colossus, is gonna be a problem. Do we have an overseer on the map? No, we no longer have an overseer, so an overseer needs to be pumped out. However, ultras are on the map. Ultras will do a lot of damage, and as you can see, they have 1 attack, 1 armor. And ultras do have 500 health, so they will be able to take quite a pounding. Not a lot, but still. Another Colossus, and another. So a lot of Colossus being pumped out. The Protoss is almost at max capacity. The Zerg probably is at max capacity. Yes, 197 supply versus 196 supply. However, let's see how much of that is harvesters income. 83. So the Protoss is a little bit behind in the units. He has a 19. Or no, a 21 actually. Blah, math, my enemy. So yeah, a 21 harvester advantage does have Kiwikaki, so more minerals for him, but we'll see how that matters. Meanwhile, getting a Templar Archives, and here comes the drop of Ultras and what do you call it, Hydras. Meanwhile, a drop inside the main as well, fungal growth actually being used, and a 3-pronged attack. A lot of these armies coming in here. Where is the mothership? The mothership actually coming in here. No air units, a couple of Hydras to try and shoot down the mothership. Not gonna happen with these Colossus. They're just gonna take out completely take out all the Hydras. Meanwhile, this base actually faring pretty well because of the warp-ins, and a lot of Zealots are coming in here to take out a couple of Hydras, and the drops weren't that successful, probably taking out a couple of gateways. This is this one lonely infestor here who's just waiting and waiting. So this army actually being burned to a crisp. As you can see, the Ultralisk was burned to the ground, just a poor carcass of its former self. Still, a 3,000 resources deficit is still being maintained. Kiwikaki is right now again at 194 supply, while mouzMorrow is at 143, getting out a couple of Corruptors to deal with the Mothership and the Colossus, but we'll see how that happens. Even these Corruptors can't handle that, and mouzMorrow just calls the GG. Kiwikaki showing that his economical build in the late game is just a solid build. So probably this should be a lesson in the sense that Kiwikaki should try and focus on his early game strategies to try and survive early game attacks, because his late game is just phenomenally solid, using 2 motherships, using Colossus, just transitioning into everything he needed when he needed, holding out against a 3-pronged attack, even having an infestor in his base without actually caring about it. So thank you guys for watching. Please remember to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next episode.